Hi everyone, I'm Pooja Kant Alfred, and I thought I'll make a short video on what does cultural competence and sensitivity mean in the EFT process or in any therapy setting for that matter. So there are a number of points that I'd like to talk about and elaborate a bit. So, why is cultural competence important? It's because we are working, it's because of Skype, of course. We work with clients around the globe, and thanks to the technology, we can do that, and we'll be interacting with clients from different cultures. So, we are no longer confined to one geographical location, and we communicate with clients, we work with clients from different parts of the world, and that's where cross cultural EFT, geo-specific EFT comes in. This is a very good definition of cultural competence, that you possess this ability to allow for differences and to be sensitive to the differences so that you can engage with the client in a more creative manner. Your responses are creative and customized according to what the client needs. When we are working with clients from a different cultural setting, then it is very important to be sensitive to the cultural differences. And by cultural differences, I mean the differences in, let's say, the parenting styles, the values and the norms, the religious and spiritual orientation of the client, the child rearing practices, specific beliefs that they have. So, regarding cultural competence, what do we need? We need to be aware of our own self identity and the cultural identity, the culture that we belong to. So, we need to be aware of the cultural beliefs that we have and what is our identity. That is really important. The next thing is to be sensitive to the nuances in human differences. So, there are going to be a lot of differences from the way the client dresses to the way a person speaks, their mannerisms, their verbal and non-verbal communication. So it's very important to be aware of these differences and sensitive about these differences. The third is being aware of your own biases and the cultural worldview that you have, and also the assumptions, the prejudices that you have about different cultures. It's very important to be aware, because if you're aware of these biases and assumptions, then you will not end up imposing your views on your client, your own cultural worldview on your client. You will not do that. So it can really be helpful. Another thing that's very important is understanding your own experiences of privilege and to work through any kind of guilt or shame that you have about the privilege that you have experienced, and not to bring those feelings, those emotions in the EFT sessions. And even if they come up, of course, you are aware of them and you can definitely tap on these feelings. So, awareness is the key. When you're aware, then you can do something about these feelings that you carry to the EFT sessions. If you're not aware, then they can subconsciously affect your behavior, your verbal and non-verbal communication with your client, which in turn can be easily felt by the client, and it can easily influence the therapy process, the EFT process. Last but not the least, understanding the worldview of the client so that you can modify the setup statement. If your client's worldview is really different than yours, and also including phrases and reframes according to the cultural and religious beliefs of the client.